Morning, y'all. Cock-a-doodle-doo. This is Rooster McNuggets, and I'm here to tell you that they're after our children. They're trying to fill their heads with stories that they'll always come to them, that government will always be justified, just like they did with 9/11. Now they did it with COVID, and they're gonna continue to do these type of psychological operations, psyops, on us and our children in order to recreate the next generation of muumuus, of cattle that are basically led and managed by these people that are dirtbags. Because, well, you keep handing over your power to them. You keep justifying in your mind a reason to make them gods to you. You keep handing over everything that you think is priority and saying, you tell me. Well, that's why we live in a shithole, y'all. You know, because you're not tapping into your inherent divine powers. You know, you haven't awoken yet. So just look around and realize that it's all your fault. And then you can get started. There's nobody else to blame. You're not the victim. You created all of this. It's all in your imagination, as it were, because you don't seem to realize that all of this stems from you. That your interpretation is key. If you don't understand how you interpret your input, because you're a portal, then you're going to interpret it in all kinds of funky ways. And that's why they launch these kinds of events and tell you how to understand them, so that from then on, you interpret all types of experiences that are similar to that underneath those definitions. That is dark magic. That's what keeps you from understanding. When you put things into words, you crunch down their purpose and their meaning into a specific one-way mirror and only work this way. Well, in reality, things don't really work that way. We use words to kind of point towards something so we can understand it better. But that thing that we're pointing at is not actually the thing. We've fallen into our own misunderstanding if we think so. And so that's what they're using against us. And they've taught us all this throughout our schooling. And so it's very hard to come up out of this. And the only way that I know is through the heart, is to understand intuitively that something's very wrong. You look around and you know that. Okay, and what I'm here to tell you is that you're the key. You know, that we are all a part of something much bigger than just ourselves. However, it's very personal in the sense that it begins right where you're at and right where I'm at, and that is now. But I see it a little bit differently than you do, because my brain's worked a little bit differently than yours is. And so we're coming up out of ignorance. We're learning what's not true, figuring out how we got it wrong. And every time we see that, that's all we have to do is just recognize that. Because the more that we see that, what it actually is, we'll begin to let it go, because we'll be like, there it is again, there it is again, you know? But right now, the way that we're interpreting things has got us in this circle, and it's a spiral downwards, because we're not really getting to the root of what these words mean, what these numbers are, and how that points to your divinity, your inheritance as a child of the Most High. So good morning, y'all. Time to wake up.